get rid of this. Hold on 1 second. With that. And first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I mean, we have a huge crowd in Mumble right now. It's amazing. I don't know what the number is right now, but that's
200.
It looks incredible. So thank you all for showing up, and thanks for those guys that can't join us in live in Mumble anyway. I hope that you're watching us live on Twitch or on the CTR live page. We're kind of all over the place, and we will be posting this up as we move through this week. We should be posting this video up so that people can go back and look at it and see what we talked about. Make sure that they understand exactly what's going on with the guild right now, and where we plan on going in the future. And I think that there's a lot of really cool things that we're going to bring tonight. I'm going to introduce you to at least a couple of different officers and let them talk to you about what's going on in their world as well, and how you can help if you want to. One of the coolest things about this guild, when it was started back in January 20th, I think, was the date that we announced it. We said, all right, we're going to be on Airy Peak, and we did that on January 20th, and we had no idea how many people would be here. And it has been overwhelming. You guys have poured out into Airy Peak like, I mean, you know, the people of Airy Peak are some of them are like vitriolic, saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe how many CTR folks there are here. It's like, you know, some kind of disease, but it's a wonderful disease. Let me tell you, if that's the case, it's a wonderful thing to have happen. So many people are here. We have an amazing community with amazing leaders, with great people that are helping each other out. And I've never been part of a guild that is doing so much stuff. This is a guild of doers. And I'm always seeing very lively chat in guild chat, in our CTR LFG, our looking for group chat, and so many other places. The forums are very busy. Great to see you guys in using all of these different avenues. Mumble is busy, and we've topped out past our 200 mark for the amount of people that come into Mumble, which is great. For those new members, welcome, and please don't be intimidated. We're all friends here. And so it gets a little bit excited at times because we are all friends here, and so it may seem a little bit intimidating at first, but you'll get your feet, and you'll understand that we are a guild that really wants to do things and do things together as much as possible, and that's a wonderful thing to have happen. We have grown a lot in the last few months, in the last 4 months, I guess. And not just with members, but I'm talking with everything. We've had to grow our officer pool. We've had to grow our systems, our IT stuff. Our application page has changed twice in the last few months. I mean, it's been crazy the amount of traffic that we've been getting, and it's been really cool to see how fast we've had to make some changes. We have over 4,600 characters in the CTR guilds. In all of the CTR co-guilds, we have over 46. I believe it's over 4,700 now, but it's definitely over 4,600 characters. And we have a really diverse player base. We've got players from Canada, US, of course, the UK, Norway, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Costa Rica. We have people from all over the place coming to play along with us. And this is a really cool place to be right now. And I am so happy to be here. And I'm so happy to be to take over as GM. I just the new gig for me, and so it's really exciting. And I hope that you guys are having fun in the guild as well. We'll be able to get to your questions at the end of this whole thing, but I do want to introduce you to a couple of different people. A little bit more about the community, and then we'll get to the people. Right now, we have 6 co-guilds. And you're like, 6? Well, I didn't know there were 6. Yes, we have Shah. We have CTR Galleon, Nalak, Azurgos, Kazakh, and waiting in the wings right now, we have a level 1 Lobby guild called Emerus that will soon reach level 25 as soon as we start inviting a bunch of new folks in and getting that guild going, because, like I said before, we are a guild of doers here. And I I know that you guys are going to get that up to level 25 in a blink of an eye. Seriously, it's crazy. Along with our amazing community, we also have some amazing community leaders. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what's been going on behind the scenes. We have officers in all sorts of different positions. We're trying to really grow this community and this guild as we move through here. One sec here. Just hearing an echo. Anyway, along with myself as the GM, we have what I'm calling the Iron Council. And it's just kind of a stupid name. I mean, it's a fun name. Fun name. It's a guild. It's a game. So on the Iron Council, these are kind of my trusted guys. These are the guys that that I really do trust to be able to run this guild efficiently, effectively. I know that they have my back, and I definitely have theirs. And these people are Solar Flare, who you probably know from the show, most likely.
I'm new here, guys. Hello. My name is Solar Flare.
Right. We also have another good friend of mine from another podcasting partner, and that is Jules Scott, you know, from Torrent Think Tank and that TV show. Hopefully you listen to that TV show, right? And she's hanging out on Mumble. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. And also in the Iron Council is Darius. And Darius has been one of those guys. He really understands the systems behind the guild. And he's really good with IT stuff. And he's just great with knowing all the tech, because I know nothing. And he's proven that time after time that I know nothing about tech. And then we also have several department heads, and I'm not going to introduce everybody, but I do want to introduce a couple of key people that you guys are probably going to want to know. Okay, we have officers doing all sorts of things behind the scenes with communication, working on more systems to put in place so that we can talk to you better and so that you can talk to us better. That's all going on behind the scenes. But some of the people that you need to know. First up, I will bring in the raid liaisons, and we'll give them a chance to talk here. The raid liaison position is pretty cool. If you're a raider, we have tons of teams, and I'm sure that Teak will go into this. But we have Teak and Lou right now as our raid liaisons. If you're running a raid team, if you're a raid leader, you want to know these guys. And I'm going to turn this over to Teak right now to talk to you about the raid liaison position and what it can do for you. So take it away, Teak.
Good, it's my turn to talk.
Yes.
Well, for you guys that listened to the first episode of The Converted, you've already heard my spiel a little bit. Some of that stuff has changed. We're actually going to kind of a different format for the raid liaison stuff, just to better facilitate how we do our jobs, basically. What's going to happen is every 2 guilds are going to have 1 liaison, as in Lou is going to be taking care of Shah and Azurgos. So if you're in either one of those guilds and you need something done as far as raid stuff, Lou is going to be your contact. I'm going to be taking Galleon and Emerus. So if you're in either of those guilds, then I'm the one you come to. And we're probably going to be recruiting a new liaison to take over for Kazakh and Nalak. Right now, if you need either one of those, just find me or Lou, and we'll take care of it for right now. But the team is probably going to be growing just a little bit. As far as I know, a lot of you guys have heard about the Raider rank. It's actually ready to go, so we should see some promotions up to that rank here very soon. and make sure to get in charge or to get with the officer in charge of your guild for anything that you guys need. You can also get with any of the liaisons at our email address, which is ctrraids@gmail.com. Now, make sure you guys use this for, what we're here for. Anything you guys need as far as, bank access, if you need to, swap players around, if, you need to get somebody into a different guild, anything like that. Also, if you guys happen to recruit somebody outside of the guild and it's during our close time, let's say that you really want them for your raid team, something like that, we can make case by case exceptions for things like that. So don't be afraid to approach one of us and see exactly what we can do.
Right on.
And I think that's right on.
Is that it, Teak?
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
I think I'm good.
Cool.
Okay.
The big things to note, again, ctrraids@gmail.com. That's their email. If you cannot find Teak or Lou in-game, that's the place where you guys want to go. For sure. You want to get there. You want to do that. And that's not to say that any other officer cannot help you. Please use the CTR LFO channel. That's join CTR LFO. And you can always talk to any officer about whatever you want to. That's fine. Use that channel. Please do. We're trying to keep an eye out on it. The way that guild chat goes sometimes, however, sometimes somebody says something and we miss it, and it goes off into the ether because guild chat is flying by so fast. Sometimes it happens. That's all I'm saying. The other thing that I think that's important is that they're looking for more help. So, and I'm sure that there's going to be something going up on the forums here pretty soon with that, and we'll take care of that along the way. If you have any questions about this, we will have a question period after we get done with all these intros and talk about some different stuff. So get your questions ready. We have Spencer HD. We have Teak in IRC as well. Red's helping out with Mumble stuff, and Spencer. So if you have a question, let those guys know. You can do that at any time. And anybody that's been given status, I guess, in the IRC channel, feel free to PM any of those people that are in there right now, and we'll see if we can get to your question. Now, there is another officer that I want you guys to meet, and she has actually done a great job with the CTR boot camps. If you guys are familiar with those, hopefully you took advantage of those too, because they were pretty cool. And it was where we had players from the guild come talk to a bunch of people about whatever their class and spec was that they wanted to talk about. And this event was huge. Talked about all sorts of different classes, all sorts of different specs. I think we hit everything except for like a couple. And it's just really fantastic to see a community come together like this and really be a part of something special, which I think this was. And it all started with the inkling of an idea from Red, who is now the events manager for the Convert to Raid Guild. And Red, why don't you introduce yourself and talk to the folks about what you're looking for and what you're doing.
For sure. Hey, I'm Red. I like long walks on the beach, things like that. No, so with Events Manager, we're going to be looking for some event planners, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's just me and sometimes other people. So if you want to be an event planner, some things to keep in mind. We are going to be wanting event planners to kind of stick to about one event a month, roughly. If it's a little bit, different, that's cool. But just roughly that kind of a schedule. And also, if you have any ideas for events, those are going to be the people you're going to talk to. You can either post it in the forums, like, hey, I have an idea. Or you can email me or email any of the event planners once we get started with that. But I'll be making a post about all of the event planners' responsibilities, everything that you're going to want to look for when you're applying, and all the information about that in the next couple days. So keep an eye out. I'll be posting that under the event forums, and then I think I'll probably have a link on the announcement section like the main part of the guild forums.
Okay.
But mostly, just if you can, if you're interested and you can, be around to do the events and plan the events, even if it's, just helping someone else plan an event, that's really cool. So basically, that's all I really have right now.
Well, I know that there's going to be a lot more coming from you and your
Definitely.
team as we move forward, and we're looking at May as a way to build up this team and to really kind of try getting some events out there and try to make them regular occurrences and all this kind of stuff. So be looking toward your guild calendar as well as to the forums for all sorts of different information on events. And if you want to be an event planner and help out with this stuff, feel free to go to the forums and check out all the different posts on that. And yeah, I mean, that should be fun. So thank you, Red, by the way. And there are many other officers that are pretty cool and doing some pretty special things. I won't talk about everybody because I don't think it necessarily relates to you, but I want to thank all the officers for their hard work, their continued hard work in making sure that we invite people, making sure that we do it in an orderly fashion. Because with 46 or 4,700 characters plus, it gets to be a little bit of a nightmare sometimes. That's all I'm saying. These guys are working hard, trying to make sure that you guys have what you need at any given time. And please use those resources. Use the forums. Use CTR LFO. Use all the different channels that we have for guild chat, CTR LFG as well. Just make sure to communicate and make sure that if you have a question, feel free to approach these people, all the officers and stuff like that, at any time. We're here for you guys. We are. The other great part of this fantastic community is you guys. Yeah, you guys. And we have a little job for you. We ask that you guys look out for each other. You're already doing this, so we're just asking you to continue it. Make sure to help each other out. Look out for the little guys. Make sure to include people and do stuff. That's the big thing. We're looking to have fun, and I know that you guys are too. Make sure to have fun, help people as you can, all that kind of stuff. A couple of things just for housekeeping purposes. If you haven't read the guild policies, I know that you said that you read the guild policies when you filled out your application. Make sure to check those over, because there are some we make changes every once in a while, so always check those for updates and stuff. But make sure that you read them and understand them. And I'll go through some big points here, and then we'll probably end up wrapping this up. And then have your questions. So be ready with questions. And if you want, you can actually start asking Spencer and Red and other folks as far as what you have for questions. So now, as far as the guild policies go, I'm going to make big, huge points here. We ask that because we are such a diverse guild, and we do have kids in here. We have kids as young as, I think, 6 or 7 playing the game. I'm not sure exactly what they're using. As far as, I don't know if they're using Mumble. I don't know if they're actually seeing guild chat or anything like that. But we do ask that you look out for these guys. And so that's why we say, hey, keep your language clean, please. Try to make it, family friendly. We do try to appeal to everybody. So do what you can there. Please just try to make it so that everybody can have a good time. As officers, we will be understanding if you slip up here and there. But in all public channels, we ask that you keep it clean. That's one of the big things. The other big thing is don't be a jerk. And that goes for every facet, and I think that we all understand this. And remember that we've all got to get along. We've all got to get along. We've all got to play well together, not just within this guild, but also on Airy Peak, all across Airy Peak. We have to get along with these guys. There's no reason to, say something in trade chat that is weird. There's no reason to say something even in LFR. If you're cross realm doing something, there's no reason to, if somebody's hating on the guild, that's fine. They can do it. That's them. We just try to play nice with everybody, and hopefully we can. And I know that a lot of 99.99% of you guys are doing this already. Of course, that sometimes the emails that we get are about the 0.01%. Actually, we've heard a lot of great positive response about this guild, and so I want to thank you guys for that. Absolutely. And now I guess we'll open it up to questions unless one of the officers has anything that they want to jump in on, as far as anything that they think that I missed. So I guess I'll open up the floor to officers if they need to speak about something in particular. Anything? Okay.
Oh, actually, Zug?
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone, because I know I've been doing a lot of invites, obviously, because the first of the month just passed.
Yep.
We are asking for emails, just so everyone knows, just so that way we know who everyone is. I know I caught a couple people off guard where they were kind of like, whoa, wait, you need my email? No, this is my main. It's just... Yep. We just need that information, just reminding everyone.
Yeah, we do some internal bookkeeping as far as, because you applied, we want to make sure that you are you and not somebody else. We actually had somebody that said that they were somebody else. And so we don't know who that person is. I believe we ended up booting the person because we had no idea who they were. And so we want to make sure that you are you. So if you're bringing in an alt, what's the best way to do that? Well, probably email. And if you've already supplied an email on the application, that's great. You don't have to say this stuff through an open channel at all. We're not asking you to do that. Just a private message with one of the officers, and you can supply your email, and we will look it up, and it's just to verify who you are. That's really it. Anything else on that or anything else from the officers?
If you don't want to give your full email, the first 4 or 5 digits are just fine.
Yeah.
But this is all just to protect you. We don't want someone saying they're you and then them doing something stupid and us having to kick you out of the guild.
And this has happened. So This is very, very valid.
Yep. It's just, it's an identification verification. That's way too many cations. I'm going on vacation.
I have something I would like to.
Sure, this is Darius for everybody out there on the feed.
This is more of a plug. If anyone out there has any experience developing iOS apps or is a graphic designer, please contact me on Darius or grandpactr@gmail.com or on my priest Moranis, or you can find me in IRC, or just stand in the middle of Stormwind and yell. You can find me.
Stormwind, not in Pandaria.
Stormwind's the new hangout, so.
Yeah, I suppose. In the Blue Recluse.
Yeah.
Go over there. Hang out. Darius is our he's not only a part of the Iron Council, he's also working on all the system stuff. He's our IT guy, like I said before. And so if you need to talk to him, grandpaw, PAWCTR @gmail.com. Grandpaw. So, and let's see, anything else? We have a question from Sador. Any timeline on getting the boot camps onto CTR2? We are working on that right now, actually, and we're going to be putting a couple onto the regular CTR as well as onto CTR2. While I'm gone, we're going to do a little bit different format for the show, and we're going to put 1 or 2 of those into the show. We don't know exactly which ones yet. Don't bug me about it. I know that people want to. We will be putting that stuff onto CTR2 as we can. These are lengthy things that will take a little bit more time because it's not quite as focused as the scouting reports that we do. So It takes a little bit more time to put them together. Any other questions from around the rooms?
I think we had a question about a CTR calendar, like outside of game.
Yes, outside of game. Red, we talked a little bit about that, right? Did we?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It could have happened.
Right, it could have happened. I am currently building a guild page over on converttoraid.com.
Awesome.
One that's just for guildies, although everybody can look at it. So maybe we can put something up there. Let's put that on your list, Red, of stuff to possibly do. The other thing is BlizzCon. BlizzCon, guys.
BlizzCon.
We are looking forward to BlizzCon. BlizzCon is going to be huge for me, for Solar Flare, for Coltrane, for the guild. And we are looking to meet you guys. So we are going to not limit ourselves on what we can do there until we know more. Of course, we're putting together a committee, and of course, I'm going on vacation, so this is like horrible timing. But we will be. I know that there is a group already that's going to be scouting locations and stuff like that. So over the summer, we're going to be discussing what we can do. We're going to be booking places possibly, so that we can go do them, like guild meetups and possibly some live shows for you guys as well. So we have more to talk about on that. I just wanted to give you, yes, we are going to be doing stuff. We are going to be doing merchandising. We are going to be doing all this other stuff. So look out. BlizzCon, we're going to blow the roof off the joint. So, yeah. Any other questions from others?
I got one from the guild.
Go for it, Jules.
From Helia, just asked, let me scroll it up, hang on. Can there be an additional day to do invites in the second half of the month? I talked to a real-life friend of mine to reactivate his account and created a tune, but forgot to tell him about the first 7-day invite window.
That would be great. We can take a look at special needs for anybody, and we can do that via ctrofficers@gmail.com. ctrofficers@gmail.com. If you have a special request, need something, that's one of the places where you can submit to. ctrofficers@gmail.com. Let us know your situation. We can take a look at it, see if that fits. I mean, the 7-day window is for our officers so that they have an expectation of, okay, we got to be on, we got to be inviting people, we got to be available to invite people all the time. We don't have, even though it seems like we have a ton of officers, and we do, we actually do, we cannot cover every single time zone every day of the week when it comes to invites. Although, Spencer probably tries. I know he does. I know he's been on forever. And it's just tough to cover every single hour of every single day during the invite period. So if you ever have problems, we try to be understanding. Again, we try to be understanding. And if you have special needs, you can always go ctrofficers@gmail.com. All right, another question?
Yeah, I got one. I was just asking about a posted on the forums about trying to complete all the guild challenges regularly for the guild to earn guild monies, because we're having money issues with the guilds, and getting more people interested in those sorts of things.
Solar,
if that's possible.
Solar, do you want to take this, or maybe?
Yeah, I've been looking into this a bit, and so basically what happened was, with the introduction to wanting to add repairs to the guild, the 50 gold kind of was a two-sided deal. And for one, we didn't have enough gold to supply that 50 gold across all of the co-guilds at the time. And then some people also didn't feel like 50 gold was enough, especially if they were raiding on a weekly basis. So what we did was we disabled the guild repairs across all of the co-guilds, and we're pretty much just building up our resources. And with the introduction of the raider rank, which is a higher repair pool for those actively pursuing goals within the guild, we're going to have repairs for everybody. We just have to get to that point. And I know Red and I were kind of brainstorming some ideas. on how to generate gold for the guild, and this is included into guild events, not just running like scenarios and dungeons, but like actually having silent auctions to raise money for the guild with fun prizes and stuff like that, like pieing Zug in the face on the stream.
What?
Yeah, that was one of the things. Highest bidder.
I know.
So we have things in the pipe. We just have to just spew them out. But they're there, and if like I remember one, at least at the start of the month when we first started the guild, I would do scenario Saturdays, and we would get like 50 people to just break up in scenario groups, and they would just chain run scenarios, and right there, that's like a ton of gold for the guild. So if you guys ever want to run a heroic, try and find people of the same co-guild. I mean, don't discriminate or anything, but if you can make it at least a point to try and generate some gold, by all means, feel free. But we do have ideas coming soon that are probably going to fix this, and they'll be live. We'll have repairs live pretty soon.
And Red, the goal is I think that by the end of the month we should have more systems in place, more events in place, so that we can open that up to people, especially to the raider rank. Make sure that we get all of our raiders taken care of first, and try to also take care of the Molten Core, our initiate group, as well. So, Red, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, if you have any really amazing ideas that are just brimming out of your hat, totally share them with people, and we can definitely get those going.
Right.
But other than that, I mean,
okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Teak, you had a follow-up question, is that right?
Just a comment on that question.
Sure.
Something I probably should have covered before too. Also, is with the raider rank, of course, guild repairs comes with that. In order for your in order for your raid team to get that raider rank, you need to do two things. Number one, you need to go to the team pages, and there is a post in the announcement that says raiders. I think it says raider rank actually. In that post, there's an example of what your front page needs to look like in order for you to get those promotions. Number two is your guild or your raid team all need to be in the same guild, because I can't go looking over 6 guilds for a character to promote them to that, to that rank. So, yeah, or Lou, because she'll probably be the one doing it. But so make sure that your front page matches that front page. It's nothing big. All it really is it's just your full roster, because we need to keep track with that to make sure that these things stay accurate. Anytime that you have a change on your roster, like somebody comes out, somebody else, and it needs to be an active change, like an active raider, not you got a sub in one day. But any kind of active changes, just email CTR raids and we'll get it swapped. Just make sure you let us know when you do it though, because we can't go through and check every single one. Also, with the guild funds things, right now we have 2 guilds. I think it's Shaw and Azargos. They're really, really they're loaded with raid teams.
Yeah.
So something else is I'd like to get some of the teams that aren't real partial to where they're at, if they don't really care, to try to spread load the teams across. Because right now I don't think Nalik has any teams. It may have 1. Galleon has a few. Azargos has a few. Shaw has a ton. And I think Kazakh has a ton. So if raid leaders, if you want to make the switch just to kind of even it out so they're not all front loaded in one, 1 or 2 guilds, then just also send an email or get with me or Lou in game, and we'll start trying to smooth out so we can get more of an even number in each guild.
Right, and the first team that gets into Emerus gets all the achievements and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you want to join, or if you don't care about what sub co-guild you're in, then talk to the raid liaisons and make sure that everybody's in the same co-guild. I always say sub because I'm looking at somebody that said sub, but I try to call it co-guild because that's what it is really. And so feel free to put everybody. We need to put everybody on your team into the same co-guild, and if you're open to it, we can move you around so that we're spreading out the love to all these different guilds, and so that we can get some really active players. More active players into some of these different co-guilds as well. So, other questions, guys?
I've got one coming over here from Twitch.
Okay.
Megzawa, I'm sure I said that wrong, is asking about any rules about streaming their raids. I'm not opposed to it, but
No. I don't see why it would be a bad thing. I mean, your raid is your raid. Let me put it that way. Your raid has always been your raid. And we really try to make sure that we put the power into your guys' hands when it comes to raid teams, right? Solar, you got any words on that?
Talk to Spencer or myself if you'd like help setting up your stream.
Sure.
If that sounds like something you may be interested in. We have a page on the forums. Oh, this is a good segue. Can I talk after this?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have a page on the forums where everybody's stream is listed so you can see when they go live. And if you follow their stream, you get notifications as to when they do. So maybe if you're bored, like some Thursday afternoon or something, you can go watch a raid team do some raiding. So you can get with Spencer and myself to discuss that. And that brings me to the discussion of the forums. If you're not registered on the forums, please go and register on the forums and at least visit on a daily basis. I know I'm on there maybe 20, 30 times a day. So it's good to be able to communicate with your community. It's such a good medium with that too, because you've got your team pages for all of your raid teams. You've got the convert to raid subset. I mean, it's really everything under Signal's media banner, and it's super helpful. And a lot of people need to be there, and a lot of people are there. So I really do recommend signing up for the forums. It's a good way to get in contact with people. And speaking of getting in contact with people, and since we are a raiding guild, I really would like to stress, and I'm sure you guys have seen me in guild chat before, ask you to direct your looking for groups and looking for mores into the CTR LFG channel. If you /join CTR LFG, just like you /join CTR LFO to join the guild, same thing, CTR LFG. Use all of your guild looking for group things there. It keeps guild chat related to guild, and it keeps a very active and happening LFG channel. So please do that. It just makes things less convoluted and it's organized, and I would really appreciate if you guys started using that. So there is that.
It definitely does make it look a lot cleaner. So if everybody can join CTR LFG and make sure to use that channel when you're looking for a pug for your raid or whatever, just looking for more to run dungeons or scenarios, and hopefully getting together with other guys in the same co-guild so that you can get some of the perks of working together as a team in your co-guild as well. That's always nice as well. But of course you don't have to. It's all about having fun, really. Anything other questions that we have?
I have a question in game from Swayze.
Okay.
So he has a raid team whose leader has changed several times over the course of its life, and the forum pages. How can they get that changed so that somebody else can moderate that forum, or can change the roster listings, or do they have to just make a new post?
Teak, what would you suggest as far as that's concerned?
Send me an email. We can actually change the author on the front page to whoever it needs to be, and then they can just take over the page, or they can take the thread over from there. That way they won't have to start a brand new thread.
There we go. Thank you, Sushen. Or Copperbolt. Either way.
Speaking of threads,
yes,
make
Lou.
sure you guys post at least from time to time in your thread. Otherwise, if you're inactive for a while, I'll assume that the raid maybe isn't going so well, or it fell apart, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the thread may or may not be moved to the inactive subcategory. So just keep that in mind. We did have a small incident where 2 months, same as the guild inactivity, where they made their roster and then didn't post in the thread for like 4 months, and they're like, wait, hey, we still exist, and there was no activity in the thread. So it's our way of monitoring the raid groups.
Gotcha. And that actually brings up a good point. And thank you, Lou. How many raid teams are there right now, Lou?
I think my final count as of the last day I was working on rosters was like 40 something.
Damn.
I know. Talk about an active guild. I have never ever even heard of something like this, where we have over 40 active raid groups in one guild.
And we have people making new teams almost every day, so it's continually growing.
It's amazing, and thank you guys for joining us on this journey and being so absolutely wonderful with this whole thing. It's been great. One thing I do want to mention though is that we are going to be starting to enforce this 2-month activity. So if you are inactive for more than 60 days, for more than 2 months, we will be kicking some tunes that maybe haven't seen the light of day in a while. If you know that you are going to be gone for an extended period of time, say you're in the Army and you're on duty while you're called away, we understand that. Or if you are on an extended vacation, or if you're going away for the summer, or if you're doing something where you will not be playing WoW for a while, we can put you into a different rank called extended leave. And with this extended leave, we'll just throw you in there. There's no perks. You don't get anything. You're just there to make sure that you're in the guild when you come back. So, and you can always email us, ctrofficers@gmail.com, or you can talk to an officer in game. We can get you moved over there. That's not a big deal. And so if you know that you're going to be gone for a long time, we can throw you into the extended leave rank on the guild, and then that way we won't boot you for inactivity. We're really trying to make sure that we keep as many people in the guild that want to be here, but we do understand that sometimes your alts just aren't working out, and so we want to make sure that we have room for more people as they want to be here. So, any other questions?
Someone just was asking if you could clarify what active meant for those 60 days.
Oh, it just means logged in. That's all that it means. That's all that we can track. We can only track if you've logged in the last 60 days. So if you've logged in the last 60 days, you're set. It could be for a minute. It could be for an hour. It doesn't matter. It could be for, a week. We don't know. But that's what we'll go off of. Other questions?
I've got a couple of whispers. People asking what defines an active raider. Because before I said that the only people who are going to be getting the raider rank is someone who is defined as an active raider.
Yeah.
Basically, what defines that is every team has basically 10 slots. And it's up to the raid leader to define who he thinks his active team is. But basically, each team is going to get 10 slots. Technically, they'll have 8 raider ranks and then 2 raid lead ranks, because each raid leader should have chosen a co-raid to have the raid leader rank.
Yes.
So, that's what defines it. So it's not on me to define who is active on your team and who isn't. It's up to the raid leader to put those 10 names up, and that's where we go from.
Cool. And Lou, did you say that you had another question?
Oh yeah, I just got a great question in Twitch. What is the easiest way to find a raid team? I'm someone who hasn't yet transferred, and the team pages are kind of hard for me to navigate. That is a great question, because we do have a lot of people looking for teams to join. If you check out the forums, there are, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's like looking for, basically you can post your own ad. Hey, I have this availability, or a raid team can go in and post, hey, we're looking for this.
Yep.
So check that out. Check out the Converted podcast as well. We do have a little raid segment where I'll actually, if someone posts, hey, we're looking for a ranged DPS, that is also a nice little segment to check out, if someone's actively recruiting. And then just, you could always give me your Tika Whisper. Usually we're pretty good at knowing who needs some spots filled.
Yep. Talk to those raid liaisons and see if they have a clue about what's going on for particular times. Especially know what times you want to raid, because we have raid teams all over the place. We have them every night. We have them during the day. We have them weekends. We have them overnights. We have them after. I mean, it's every day part that you could imagine. So focus on what you can do regularly, and then I would actually go to one thing that I would look at is the CTR Raid Teams Master List. This will give you an idea as far as when these different teams are raiding, and it will give you an idea as far as what you might be able to jump into. And it gives you links to their team pages as well, where hopefully they're keeping up to date on whether or not they're recruiting, and you can check those out there too. Any other Solar? You got any other suggestions for ways people can find raid groups?
The forums, I think he brings up a really good point in it being a little messy. There's just a lot of things there. Like we mentioned, there's 40 teams that are using that as a place to kind of relay information between each other. And I don't know if we can organize that a little bit better. That might be something we can think about. But I think, like I said, if a lot of people start to utilize the forums, this could be less of an issue for people trying to look for raid teams because so many people are in there and participating. So post a thing in the free agents listing. And I know Robob, and I think most of the raid teams after he did this started to follow suit. You can kind of tell when a raid team has a thread in the forum, like what they raid. Like it should say like, PST 8 to 11 or something like that, Tuesday, Thursday. Like a lot of the teams just up in front on their title post what their times are. So you should be able to manage at least finding one that would suit you.
Right. And Darius, I know that we were looking into doing something. I know that there was a post going around trying to do something with that. Is anything happen with that particular thing? You know what I'm talking
asleep.
about. Oh boy.
Yes, there was someone else was working on that. I didn't have time to do it, and theirs looked better than mine anyway. I don't know where he's at though. I haven't really followed up with that in a long time.
I know that we're going through. I know that we were going through some beta, alpha testing for something that might make it a little bit easier. There may be something coming down the road. Who knows? We are definitely looking into different avenues that we can work with teams and members looking for teams. Anything else from the officers as far as like questions or anything like that?
I've got one.
Okay.
Amariti in game, if I messed your name up, I'm sorry. Asked if there are any events in the works that the general population doesn't know about in or out of game that you can tell us about.
In real life or in game?
I got one.
Both.
Okay. Solar
in
Flare,
or out of game.
Go ahead. You got one.
Okay, so I was talking to Darius a while ago, and we were kind of thinking about some events we could do.
No, don't spoil that one. Don't spoil that one.
He just asked if that was such a good one.
Don't spoil that one. That's a really big good one.
It's a good big one.
We'll let Red hash that one out first.
We can't tell you.
That one will be a surprise. Real life stuff. If you're in the Minnesota area and want to come to the Minnesota meetup, that is going to be late July, early August sometime. I know we'll have more on that, but it will be meeting in Minneapolis somewhere in that area. Red, anything big going on in game that you can think of that's in the works or anything? I know that you're still building your crew, so
yeah, I need event planners.
Right.
I know there are a lot of people who have said, "Hey, I'd like to do this event," or "This is a really good idea." But in order to do this event, we need you guys.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And if you have an event, go see Red. She's awesome at setting you up as far as giving you the tools that you need to make sure that it can happen. Make sure that the guild knows about it. Make sure that that we can promote it and get it out there. BlizzCon is the other big event, but I already talked about that a little bit.
That's not a secret.
That is not a secret. That is not.
Red, I just had a question from Sidor asking when you're planning on the Texas meetup.
I wasn't aware I was planning it, but I'd like to do it very soon. I know that there's several people in Texas, and I'd like to have one fairly soon.
We got a lot of love from people in Texas.
I can totally plan it. It's probably going to be in Austin if I plan it. So, I would like to see it.
I know there's a few from Austin,
Texas.
Right?
Yeah, there are at least a few. I know there's somebody who lives right down the street from me. Kind of.
Speaking of events, I forgot about this. I could talk to you guys about this one. So Remedies started the Pacifist Challenge. You have to get to level 60 without killing anything. Like, you can't kill anything. It's really cool, and I'm participating in this. I think I'm smoking everybody, but if you guys want to jump in on that, feel free. So like I said, on the forums, I found out about this. So
now, are you accepting pet battles as still being a part of the Pacifist Challenge?
It is a Pacifist Challenge, because you don't actually kill the pet. It just passes out. So you're a kind of pacifist at that point. You don't actually kill the pet.
It's just assault, not murder.
Exactly.
It's like Pokemon.
All right. Sounds good. I'll let you guys run with it. Any other questions, or any other events that people want to talk about that are upcoming? I mean, even local meetups or something like that. I don't know.
I will. I'll be playing soccer tomorrow night. If anyone wants to come watch me.
All right. Thank you, Darius. Any other questions that we have from folks?
There's one that just came into from the guild. Like in AIE, would we be having profession events, etc.?
That's a cool idea. I like the idea of that. Red, what do you think about that?
If we get an event planner that wants to plan it, sure.
There we go. That's a huge event. I mean, I know that in AIE that was a huge event.
Huge.
Months of planning. I used to be on the engineering captain, and let me tell you, that's a very hefty undertaking.
Yes, it is. And so we will definitely keep that in mind. I'm not saying that we will or we won't. We need to build our team first and really get a solid events staff working with Red and getting more and more events out there for people. And that is something that's probably on the horizon, but I think we have to build to it. Other questions?
Another one from the guild. Remedies asked, will there be any spots for new officers soon?
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, there's always going to be room for stuff. And as I'm assessing right now what we need as far as officer presence, especially during different day parts. And so we'll be looking into what we need. Event planners are kind of officers. I mean, they're a kind of officer. I will say that event planners get to be around for some of the biggest events that we as a guild run. They are also involved in one of the biggest events that we have every single month, which is invites. So they get to invite new members and all that kind of stuff and help out as they can as well. And so event planners for sure. Officers, we're looking into what we have and what we need. So there may be more coming on that. Any other questions?
I've seen a lot of things in guild chat, like there was one right here. I can't commit to a steady raid time. Will there still be raids looking for pickups? Things. I just want to make something clear. As the Convert to Raid Guild, we provide you with the tools to be successful. You still have to kind of take some initiative to put yourself into those situations where you will see quote unquote action, like I said, there's a ton of people here. You have a huge resource pool. It's just a matter of you being able to utilize that to the fullest potential.
Yep, I would agree with that. And it is, we have 40 teams. Somebody's going to be looking for somebody sooner or later. So if you're around, I mean, you'll probably be able to plug in somewhere. And if not, you can always start up your own group too, even if you have limited time. That's not a problem. I mean, you can get set up on the forum and you can talk to, Teak or Lou or, one of the officers. Who knows? We can help you out and try to figure it out. But yes, you do need to have some initiative to get into those groups in the first place.
And make sure
something we are going to do in the team pages area right now. Of course, we have the free agent thread, which shows raiders looking for teams. But I think we're also going to make a subsection right there that it can be teams posting for subs. As in, like, I know, for instance, my raid team during like 3 weeks of June, we're going to be missing a tank. So we can go to that thread and put, hey, we need a tank for this date until this date. We raid these times, and then the people, the free agents actually go to that thread and they can see if any team's looking for subs, if their stuff matches up with what they have.
Great idea. And Lou, were you saying something?
And always check the looking for group channel. I know I myself have gone into some pretty super awesome raid groups. Mm-hmm. I even picked up a guy Zug once out of that channel, so that was pretty cool.
I know, and it was amazing.
I'm sorry for your loss. Oh.
Yes, it was amazing for me, not so much for those guys, but for me it was great. And yes, use the CTR LFG channel. That is going to be your, if you're really looking for a place to pug in on any particular night, hey, use the CTR LFG channels and say, hey, is anybody looking for a sub tonight? And, hey, or, I am a mage, item level 496, looking for, the first few bosses of Tater Tot, or looking to clear something else. Whatever, and see if somebody's looking for more. Another question anywhere?
Not much as a question, but just a quick. I want to address this really briefly. If you guys have any questions or comments or concerns you don't maybe want to bring up here, or even whenever down the road, always feel free to email the officers. You can find that in the guild policy as well as ctrofficers@gmail.com. We're usually pretty good at getting back to people in a reasonable time regarding issues that you may have within the guild. And I don't want to be like Debbie Downer or anything, and I really am trying not to be, but just remember, and this isn't really a huge problem, I just want to remind everybody that you represent the Convert to Raid Guild. That is the banner that is underneath your name. Please act respectably and responsibly in pugs, even on looking for raids in trade chat. There's a lot of people that are kind of out to bait you into being aggressive, and I just want to remind everybody to be respectful and responsible. Building a positive reputation on this server and in the World of Warcraft community, which I want to remind you that you are known for, is very important. So please just keep that in the back of your mind.
Absolutely, and just to build off of that a little bit, I think as I said before, I think 99.99% of the people are all the time doing
amazing,
really well at that.
Yes.
There's a very tiny, small percentage that every once in a while they go, you know what, I'm sick and tired of hearing about this, blah, blah, blah. And then they do something, and then that snowballs in trade chat or whatever, and who needs it? I want to be able to play with everybody. And I don't care what guild they're in. I don't care, who they are, what side they play on even. I've got Horde tunes still, a couple of them. They're all level 85, but I've got them. I just, it's just be respectful, all that kind of good stuff. And always look out for each other as well. I know that we had one of the things that came up in the last couple of months were some name things. If you guys are applying to and you don't have a name that is suitable for, say, families just in general, and you're looking to get into the guild, we're going to probably ask you to change your name. We do have naming guidelines for those guys that are in the guild that may have questionable names. You may be asked for a name change from Blizzard at some point. Who knows? Because we do want to make sure that this is family friendly. So I'm not saying that we will, but if the community standard is saying that your name really isn't that awesome for our family friendly guild, that we may ask you to change it, or you may be asked to change it from Blizzard if people report you or whatever. So, any other questions from the peanut gallery?
When will our cookie allowance be increased for us officers?
You only get what is it, a half cookie per day right now? I think
it's cookie DKP.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. That's funny.
I have a question along that. Is there any way to get my sugar cookies changed into chocolate chip cookies?
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, and we all know
Yes,
that the
it's
sugar
cookies?
we all know that the sugar cookie is the loneliest of cookies because it's more like a cracker. But no, we will not change that.
Blasphemy.
We do not have chocolate chip money.
Blasphemer.
Yeah, that's right. Any other questions from actual people?
I'm a real person.
Yeah,
I
did you
know,
just say
I
they're
know.
not real people.
Yes,
That's
I
so
did.
mean.
Oh gosh. Any other questions from members and not officers? Not
Oh,
silly officers.
another quick thing I think is kind of cool. We've kind of designated a guild hangout. Where this was being discussed for a while, and I always really wanted to guild housing is super cool. So we've kind of nominated the Blue Recluse in Stormwind and the Mage Quarter as our guild headquarters. It's kind of tucked away and quiet and nice. And I think like most of you guys are there right now during the meeting. So if you want to like set your hearse to the Blue Recluse, the Pandaria portal is just across the way in Stormwind, so you can get to Panda Land pretty easy. And it's just nice to see all your guildies when you log in. So just a small thing if you want to check that out.
Sure. And so remember all of those different resources that we have for you, both in-game and outside of game. Make sure that you're signed up on the forums. Make sure that you're using those forums to really see what's out there for you. Because, like we've been talking about all night, we have a lot of people in this guild. We have a lot of raid teams. We have a lot of activity, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you're a new member, make sure to do that. Oh, hey, and if you're a new member, make sure that you have Greenwall as your add-on, because that will allow you to see all of the chat from all of the different co-guilds within the amazing Convert to Raid community. And so if you do not have Greenwall, you're limited to only those people that are in your co-guild at that time, and you're probably missing out on, say, 5/6 of the conversation that's going on out there. So make sure to get Greenwall, please. Any other
5/6,
things?
more like.
Well,
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yep, we have 6 co-guilds, so that's why I said 5/6. That's hard to say. So any other things that we missed that you guys want to bring up? Any officers want to bring up? Okay. And we have amazing officers here, and so please feel free if you have questions at all. Join CTR LFO. Ask an officer what's going on, and you can always ask us in guild chat as well if you want. But LFO, the CTR LFO channel is there specifically for officers, and hopefully we're keeping an eye out on it. Like I said before, we can't always cover all day parts, but that's what we're reserving for it. If you can't get a hold of an officer there, your second choice is to go to ctrofficers@gmail.com. Send us an email, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Somebody will. Any other questions? 'Cause otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. I think this was a great talk, and thank you for coming along to our very first CTR Town Hall meeting. It's been nice to talk to you guys directly, because I can't always do that on the shows or whatever, and so it's kind of cool just to talk to you guys for once and just to say, hi, here's who we are, and please feel free to join us in the conversations around the guild. Grab us in Mumble if you have a question or whatever, and yeah, we can talk about all sorts of different stuff. So
it's like, how often are you planning on having town hall meetings?
Town hall meetings right now, we are going to do probably, I want to do them probably once a month for right now. It may go longer. It depends on what the turnover is in the guild and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see exactly what's going on. But I think it's a good way for us to tell you what's going on with some of the things within the guild, and for you to ask us questions. I want this to be kind of transparent, and I want you guys to be able to feel free to ask anything relating to the guild, and we'll see if we can answer it for you. So yeah, I think every month we might change that to every quarter, but that wouldn't be for a little while. I do want to do another one next month. Anything else?
I think every officer has mentioned them, but I don't think you can harp on it enough. Forums, forums, forums. Go there, use them. That's what they're there for. Stay up to date. Just go use them.
Yep, we abuse them. So please go on over there and you can always send us private messages through the forums as well. So there's that option for you. So I think that's going to wrap it up. But I want to thank you guys for coming along. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your questions. And if you have any other questions, I'm guessing that will be available to you for at least the next little bit. I know that everybody's going to be kind of sticking around. I might jump in game finally, now that I don't have to worry about a live stream, and see what kind of questions you guys have, if you have any other follow-ups or whatever. But thank you very much for coming to this very first CTR Town Hall meeting right here, and we will see you probably in about a month for another one of these things, so you can ask all sorts of questions, but you can ask questions anytime. So thank you, guys.
Yay!
Yay! And thank you, officers. By the way, I want a special shout out to all the officers that are here tonight, and the ones that couldn't make it as well. I think they do a great job. They're all fantastic people, and I really have enjoyed getting to know some new folks in the officer corps and getting to work with you guys. So, and I hope to continue doing this. I am going to be out of town for the next couple of weeks, and so if you have questions about big things, Iron Council is your place to go, or any officers you can grab at any time. But Darius, Jules, and Soul the Fly are going to be steering the ship for the next couple of weeks.
We're going down.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. It's going to be a
iceberg.
It's going to be a ramshackle guild by the time I get back. That's it. No, we've got great people in place doing awesome things, building this community brick by brick, and it's fascinating to watch right now. So I cannot wait until I get back and am able to see the lots of progress. Right, Red?
Yeah.
Picking on you. All right. I'm going to shut off the live stream, but thank you very much. And this live stream is actually going to go up on some page somewhere so that other people can see it. So we will talk to you later.